Hello guys, welcome back to Beyond the Realms, and first off, before I get to this review, I just want to say that I'm pretty worn out, pretty tired, so I hope that this review turns out to be, at least decent. Been working a ton of hours here lately, but I'm not complaining at all. Me and the wife are in the process of buying a house, so all the extra money comes in handy, of course. But at the same time, it has made movie watching pretty hard for me, and doing videos also. So I try to fit them in whenever I can. But today's review is going to be for Batman: The Dark Knight Returns Part 2. Some of you may have seen an unpackaging I did for this a few days ago. And I'm glad that I've had a few days to let this settle in, and I've actually been able to watch it twice. I watched it that first night, and then I just finished it up again tonight. But for people that aren't familiar with this at all, and don't really know what it is, because I have heard a few people saying that, it's actually based off of Frank Miller's graphic novel from, I believe, 1986, which changed the course of comic book history. I mean, pretty much solely this graphic novel did. It took, made graphic novels, more adult oriented. It took Batman into a darker side, more serious toned. This along with Year One. So yeah, it had these movies had a lot to live up to. Last year they released this one. This is the first part. This is the second part. Thankfully, they did these in two parts, two 75-minute movies, because it was just too much to cram into one 75-minute movie. It just would not have done it justice. And these movies also, they had to be done a right way, because the graphic novel is very graphic. It's very violent, and it's very dark. And that's one of the concerns I had was, were they going to do these right? Were they going to water them down? Were they going to tone them down? And, part one they didn't, but part two was the one that kind of had me concerned, because this has the most violence in it out of the two. And I can safely say, after watching it, guys, they totally did this story justice, like, even more so than I expected them to do. I was just thoroughly impressed with this movie. I cannot stress to you how much I love this movie. To put it pretty clearly, this is my favorite animated Batman movie now. I mean, it completely blew away all expectations and every other Batman animated film that I've seen. I loved Under the Red Hood, Year One, Mask of the Phantasm, all the animated series, all that stuff. But guys, to me, this just takes the whole epicness of Batman and the whole just mythology to a whole different level that I've never experienced before. But if you really don't know the story, I don't want to delve too much into that, because I think it's better to just go into this blindly. But really, this one picks up right where part one left off. With the Joker waking up. This does have the Joker in it. And this is at the end of Batman's career. He's been retired. He's in his 50s in this. And he comes out of retirement one last time when all hell breaks loose at Gotham. And it has the Joker in it, and it also has Superman in it. Really, really awesome stuff that happens in this, though. And this was actually this overall story was a huge inspiration for The Dark Knight Rises. There's a lot of parallels and a lot of similarities between the two stories. But, man, they just really did this good, guys. I cannot stress it enough. I mean, if you've seen the first one, you are no doubt going to like this one. I mean, and probably love it. But if you've never seen either one of them, I mean, you just need to go out and get these guys, because they are excellent. People who think that, Batman cartoons are, just for kids, they're just something you would buy and give to your kids to watch. Well, watch these and tell me that, because I guarantee you're not going to agree then, or you're not going to think that then. You know, these are PG-13. This is a hard PG-13. I mean, seriously, guys, this gets so violent and bloody during one scene in this, or during one sequence in this, that I'm real surprised that this did not get an R rating. Like, I don't know how they got away with a lot of this. I guess with it being animated and being more of a cartoon, because there's no way you could pull off the stuff in this in a live action film and it not be rated R. I mean, you know, the character Bruno, which is this this woman in the story. She's a gang leader. You know, she's got these Nazi symbols on her breast in the graphic novel. You know, a lot of people thought that may be changed, but no, it's fully intact. All of the blood and violence of the comic book is right in this. All of the gun violence is right in this. And it just really amazes me that they got away with it. But, you know, I mean, it's not the violence and all that stuff that makes this so good. It's just, I mean, it's one of the greatest Batman stories ever told. I mean, it's so multi-layered and so believable. I mean, it's really tied in with a lot of things that were going on in the 80s between, you know, the USSR and America, and, you know, with Ronald Reagan's obviously the president in this. But, guys, you know, watching it in a film aspect, it really didn't feel dated, though. I mean, they didn't change any of that stuff, but it just felt, I guess now, you know, looking at it, you know, almost 30 years later, it just felt unique to the Batman world, like the Gotham City, you know. Even though, you know, at the time there was a lot of reality tied in this, but now it just kind of seems like it's, you know, ingrained with the Batman mythology, and I think that's why it still works very well. The animation's all really great in this. You know, I like Peter Weller as Batman. I like his voice. I think that he plays a great older Batman. I mean, he just, you know, I mean, I understand the arguments, you know, Kevin Conroy and all this, but Peter Weller just fits this older Batman, I think, a lot. And then you've got Ariel Winter that plays Robin, or Carrie Kelly. I like her job in this too. I like how she pulled off the character. You know, now I wasn't too impressed with Commissioner Gordon in the first one, but you know, if you go back and watch that review, that was one thing I didn't like about it. But watching it a few more times, it grew on me, and in this one, you know, I didn't mind him so much. I kind of actually liked him a little bit better this time. But you know, one weak point that I have to bring up in this is, unfortunately, Joker's voice. Michael Emerson that does Joker's voice. I don't know. I mean, it's not that he was bad. It just, it lacked that spark. Like, I don't know. He just didn't come off as psychotic as his actions were, I guess you could say. Like, the voice acting didn't match how psychotic his actions were in this. It's like it was played a little bit more subdued, I think, than what it probably should have been. You know, again, it's not terrible. It's just not great. And I'm not expecting, you know, Mark Hamill or anything. I know he made his mark in the animated series and all that. I'm not expecting it to be that good, but it just could have been a little bit more ambitious, I think, a little bit more inspired. That was the only really weak voice acting aspect of this. You know, for some people that might be a really big thing. You know, and see, Mark Valley played Superman. I didn't mind him either. I thought he was pretty good. He sounded maybe a little bit too young. I don't know. But he did a decent job. You know, what else can I say about this? The Blu-ray looks fantastic, though. I mean, you know, it's a really good, nice-looking Blu-ray. The extras on it are pretty good. I didn't get to watch them all. From script to screen, I didn't get to watch all that. That's like 40 minutes long, the director talking about going over different pre-visualization drawings and stuff like that, and then talking about, you know, how they made the parallels between the graphic novel and the story, the actual story here. Superman versus Batman, you know, it was cool. The laughing, the Joker laughing in the face of death. You know, these are just probably like 20-minute long featurettes. That's pretty self-explanatory. You know, but I'm just very, very happy to have this in my collection. I was so lucky and thrilled to be able to get this, you know, because right now we're kind of in a no buying phase, you know, saving for this house and everything. So I was really lucky to be able to splurge one last time and be able to get this, because this thing is going to be playing a lot in my house. I mean, I've already played it twice this week. That's how much I loved it. And I can't wait till I can sit down and watch part 1 and part 2 back to back, because I know they're going to play very well together. But guys, you know, I'm going to give this a 9.5 out of 10. And honestly, if I was a little bit more sold on the Joker's voice acting performance with Michael Emerson, I would have honestly gave it a 10 out of 10. I mean, because story-wise, adaptation-wise, epicness-wise, everything, it is a full-on 10 out of 10. But I just knock it down a little bit because, you know, I consider 10 out of 10 a perfect film, and it's this close to being perfect. Just that one little tiny aspect. That's honestly my only complaint with this film, watching it 2 times through. But guys, definitely at least rent this thing. You know, and like I mentioned in the packaging, if you go to Best Buy right now, this is on sale for the first week for $14.99. If you take an old DVD in, they're doing the trade and save. You can get another $5 off. Guys, you can get this for $10, and it's well worth it. You will not regret it if you are a Batman fan. You don't have to like anything else animated of Batman. I guarantee you're going to like these films, even if you don't like anything else animated. So yeah, I'll quit rambling on, guys. I hope you just check this out. Please leave me a comment below if you've seen this, or if you're interested in seeing it. You know, I'll answer any questions if you have any. But yeah, guys, Dark Knight Returns Part 2. It's out now. Give it a watch. Have a good one, guys. Later.